guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about why we need to defend our Second Amendment rights. Now, we have shits and giggles running the White House, and not a day goes by that they don't try to interfere with our Second Amendment rights. So let's start with Brandon. Here's what Brandon has to say about the Second Amendment.
Second Amendment's not absolute. When it was passed, you couldn't own a cannon. You couldn't own certain kinds of weapons. It's just always been limitations.
Okay, so just like everything else Brandon speaks about, he knows nothing about the Second Amendment. Apparently, he's never read it. So, first off, the Second Amendment is absolute. Also, believe it or not, you actually can buy a cannon. The Second Amendment also does not specify who can own guns and what type of guns they can own. Matter of fact, the Second Amendment doesn't even say that criminals can own firearms. The government threw that in there. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's take a look at some of the other stupid things he has to say about firearms.
The bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot out of any other gun.
You know, I know you see on television, it's not just merely the weapon in terms of that it's semi-automatic in effect, but the velocity with which it comes out of that muzzle. What it does when it hits the body. Most bullets would go just straight through and out, but it blows up once it's inside your body.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun. Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun. It's essentially turning it into a short barrel rifle, which has been a weapon of choice by a number of mass shooters. My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round, okay? What these guys do in these mass killings, they have magazines, they call them, as I know you know, that can hold up to 100 bullets in it. 100 bullets.
Way to go, Brandon. You know, why did his handlers even let him speak? I mean, he must have referenced that stupid cannon phrase at least 100 times. Why did they let this man speak? Every time he speaks, he makes an idiot out of himself. So, you saw what he had to say about firearms, okay? So, my first question is, how does an AR-15 bullet travel 5 times faster than a bullet from any other gun? How is that possible? The next thing is, a pistol brace. How does a pistol brace allow you to shoot different caliber bullets out of the gun? I mean, where does this guy get this information? And then the other thing I get a kick out of is, what does 8 rounds in a bullet mean? Or 8 bullets in a round? So you mean to tell me that if I take this round has got 8 bullets in it? I just don't get it. And then, what's even more stupid than his fact that the 9mm will blow out your lung, how does a bullet from an AR-15 blow up inside the body? You know, if you don't know anything about firearms, you can't legislate it. And the problem we have is that all these independent government agencies like the ATF, their job is to enforce existing laws, not to invent new laws or make up laws. That's the executive branch of government. But you have the inmates running the asylum in the White House right now, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, you saw what Brandon has to say. Now, what's even worse? Let's see what the giggler has to say.
We have got to renew the assault weapons ban. Let's just always think about the fact that almost everything that can be used has a design purpose. What is the design purpose of an assault weapon? Okay, here you go. To kill a lot of human beings quickly. That's its design. That has no place in the streets of a civil society. It's a weapon of war. It's a weapon of war.
We talk about it being senseless. It is senseless. It is absolutely senseless. We got to be smarter as a country in terms of who has access to what, and in particular assault weapons. And we got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
And now you have the gigglers' comments, okay? So you have shits and giggles. One should be in an assisted living facility, and the other one should be in a mental institution. And this is why we need to fight for our Second Amendment rights. The Second Amendment was formed to protect us against a tyrannical government, which is what we have right now. And don't be complacent if you live in a gun-friendly state, because that could change in one election. All these independent states are doing whatever they want, even though the Constitution trumps state law. So write your representatives. Join the NRA or any other organization that defends the Second Amendment. But this is just nonsense. And who votes for these people? If you're a gun owner and you voted for these people, you're a moron. It's just counterproductive. And if you consider how many firearm owners there are out there, just those votes alone should have been enough to win. And what really concerns me is that they keep pushing this assault rifle nonsense, which, by the way, assault rifle, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. And I don't know why they put so much effort into assault rifles, considering that out of all the firearm-related deaths, rifles only account for 3%. 3%. But all they keep doing is pushing the AR-15s. This nonsense has got to stop. And we need to vote them out of office. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Thanks for watching.